Hello everybody, Marco with Infinity Futures, a new video on my trade assist, the algo offered by Consistent Trading, available on Sierra Chart for demo users, live users, and Sim Live users. Today I want to discuss something a little bit more about pre-market preparation and the importance, or even when you're doing a short-term trade, like on a 5 minutes or a 10-minute chart, the importance of still trying to frame what you're doing in a bigger picture, what we called the market structure, what we call the context. And this is really important because there is an underlying bias, and when there is the underlying bias, a strong market is giving you an opportunity to participate in a higher opportunity setups. So we have in front of us the daily chart of the mini Nasdaq. Undoubtedly, you can see that it's been an upward trend. I plotted the exponential 65 period moving average, which kind of gives the bias of the market. It kind of provides a line of support, so to speak, or resistance, in this case support. The 200 moving average is the one in purple, very far away. And then inside I also plotted the retracement, Fibonacci retracement, just to get an idea. Obviously, you have to put everything into context, right? So you see a trending upward market, but you do see corrections, and corrections are also decent in size. So you want to understand that the market is not going straight up, and they will do corrections, will make corrections. So how shallow the corrections, and how can we anticipate possible reversals of those corrections? So this is why Fibonacci is a great tool. Classic tool, nothing too fancy, available on Sierra under the tools menu. And you can see that around the 50 to 61.8% retracement, the market is creating a base and an opportunity to again resume the upward trend. So this is an interesting observation that you can take then and apply into a shorter time frame. The 5-minute chart can offer several opportunities to narrow down even further the levels of support and resistance. One way to do this is by adding the pivot points, which is a classic study, obviously very popular during the pre-trading days, but it's still fairly popular and used in different variations because other educators and technical analysts have created their own versions. Sierra does offer the classic pivot points, and all classic pivot points really do offer is resistance, support in various levels, S1, S2, S3, and so forth, and then a directional pivot. This is a green line right in the middle. Directional pivot, it's more like an over-under, is a rotational point for the market, where the market is trying to find some equilibrium. So we have now a little bit more of a context. We have a market that is comprised between R1 and S1. This, of course, again, is what happened on the 12th. So adding the algo gives us even more of a better picture to understand what kind of reversal opportunities the algo would have offered us. And when I talk about reversals, so I'm going to set it up first of all, if I continue. 8:30 or 8:35 is usually, as we discussed, a good time to launch the algo. 10:30, 11, it's a good time to stop, meaning the algo will not take any more entries after that. The risk reward, we said it's important to try to trade if you can afford 2 lots, and one time the risk on the first lot is fine. Second lot, try to get at least 2.5, 3. Of course, 4 and 5 is ideal, but narrow ranges will dictate the possibility of reaching those high ranges. And if you can't, you can always use a manual trading stop, or use the Sierra chart trade window, which we'll discuss later also. So let's say that we can try to take at least 2.5. And of course, that also depends on the size of the stop. But 2.5 is a good standard. So now we're going to see what kind of opportunities the Metric Assist spot. we said that the opportunities that we like to take and participate in are the long opportunities because of the context, the structure, the retracement, the Fibonacci levels. That does not mean that you cannot participate in short opportunity. Now, if you give your intraday chart this kind of frame, you can see that selling opportunities in the lower part against support probably not a good idea. So if you want to find reversal opportunity, preferably the top area or preferably on a rally above and then a failure of the rally would probably be better than pressing against the support 1 and even more so support 2. So we're going to be focusing on long opportunities only. We're going to tell the algo to take only 3 longs, and this is how you set the risk reward and the trade management. We want to set it at 1-1, which means you're trading 2 lots. One lot will take 1 time the risk. Yes, that's how we set it. Second lot will take 2.5 risk, and again, that's how we set it in the trade panel. I mentioned the Sierra chart trade window, phenomenal tool. You can delegate the management of the trade instead of to the risk button to the Sierra chart trade window, which will add an additional layer of flexibility because now you can delegate multi-bracket management, trailing stop, and so forth. So keep that in mind. You can certainly do that. But let's say that we're going to stick to the classic settings. What we can do now is actually go and do a replay of the chart and see how would that have played out. Again, not trying to show how cool the trading of the algo is, but more just to academic purposes to show the algo in action and how you can use it with your own methodology. This is just one of the many approaches that you can use. Feel free to add your own pivots, your own support and resistance levels, and see if that works out for you. So we're approaching now the directional pivot. The market is attempting to make a correction downwards. There's I'm gonna remove this. There's a sell signal, but we told the algo to go long only, so no orders will be generated on the sell side. So if you see an order popping up, and you do have this window also that will help in that direction, orders will be only on the long side and in the time frame that we discussed, which is again 8:30 to 10:30 or 8:35 to 10:30, and it's right here on this trade panel, which you can shrink. Now we approach the support 1. So this is the area of interest. This is where you're pretty much looking for opportunities to go long, right? So obviously we know that the algo will generate a long signal. There's a little bit of a loss initially, but it doesn't threaten your stop too much. There is a little bit of a drawdown, but it manages to pull out with one lot, and actually out with the second one too. Moves a little bit farther also, and then now is kind of consolidating a little bit. In any case, so again, this is called a reversal strategy because the market is making a correction downwards and then is reversing on the upside. These corrections in the direction of the main trend tend to be good opportunities for anybody out there that wants to implement a solid methodology. This is something that you should look into. Long reversals after correction with the underlying long-term bias that is long. So another thing that I wanted to show you, and I think it's very helpful, especially that you can use with the algo, is kind of taking the time frame of the session, time sessions out of the equation. And instead of having to activate the times and so the algo execute automatically starting on a certain time, what you can do is very simply, there's other ways to do it, but very simply you can add a line to the pivot area that you have selected. So you have certain levels of support and resistance. Let's say that you want to have opportunities in this area and you want the algo to spot opportunities in this area, like we just saw. You can add a line and then add an alert to the line and enable the alert either the crossing or again below. And this alert, what it will do, it will basically give you the excuse to then go ahead, and of course you have to enable and so forth, but there's other videos that can show that for you. So what you can do once the market has triggered that alert, you can just then go ahead and activate Mars by just simply clicking on the Mars name. It's very fast, very flexible. You can do it on the fly. You don't have to remove the software. You don't have to close the chart, add another chart. You can just have it on standby, set an alert on the area of interest. Once the alert goes off, you can just click on Mars and the algo will start from that point on to look for all the long opportunities or short or whatever you set it. So again, this is just one of the many ways that you can use this algo. It offers great potential, great flexibility. You have probably better, more sophisticated strategy that you can actually use in conjunction with this. This all it offers is an opportunity to filter those strategy, to auto execute them and manage them for you. So it is quite a powerful tool. If you have another strategy, what is based on pivot points, volume profile, GAN retracement, whatever it is, if you're interested in having our feedback and provide you kind of a back test of those strategies, just feel free to do it. You can also sign up for a demo yourself and test them and back test them on your own. But again, we think that this could be a great addition to whatever methodology you're already using. So I hope this was helpful. Thanks again. We'll try to do more videos to show more of the functionality of my Trade Assist. Thank you.